Alright, so I am getting ready to do the pasta con broccoli. So I'm going to show you all of the ingredients that you need. I'm still waiting for the water to boil, and I'm going to heat a skillet so I can cook the mushrooms a little bit so they're not just uncooked in the pasta. We prefer them at least a little bit cooked. The broccoli is in the microwave right now. It's in one of those bags you just punch holes in and then heat it up for 3 minutes to cook it. And yeah, we'll go from there. You need 1 box of the medium shell noodles, 1 can of tomato sauce, a small thing of heavy whipping cream, 4 tablespoons of butter. I usually use a whole package of cheese, but I think it only calls for about half of Parmesan cheese. My Target's always out of just Parmesan, so I just got mozzarella and Parmesan, but honestly, you can use whatever cheese that you like. About a tablespoon of minced garlic. I just like garlic, though. Some salt and pepper, the mushrooms that I'm about to cook in the pan, and my already cooked broccoli. So this is starting to boil, and once it starts boiling, what you're going to do is you're only going to cook the noodles halfway. So the box says to boil 10 to 12 minutes. So I only do it for 6 minutes, and then you drain them, put it back in the pot, and then you add in like the sauce, the whipping cream, the butter, the salt and pepper, the garlic, and you just start stirring it around. You turn the heat back on, the sauce will start to thicken, the noodles will cook more, and then you add in the cheese towards the end, let it start melting, and then that's about when I put some in a bowl for Alden, and then after I get his done, I put the mushrooms and broccoli in, stir it all together, and it is good to go. So I'm going to wait for this to boil a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and put the mushrooms in my pan. I'm telling you guys, this is such a simple, easy recipe, and it's so good, and it's foolproof. Like I said, I don't even need to look at my recipe book anymore. I just know how to make it. It's like making spaghetti or something. I mean, I know typically you don't probably have heavy cream on hand, or even maybe small cans of tomato sauce. Maybe you do. I don't usually, but I try to keep it on hand occasionally when I know we're going to want this. We probably eat this at least once a week, if not twice occasionally when we can't think of anything else to eat, so I'll just buy the stuff for this because it's so easy to make. But we love it. It is so freaking good. I found the recipe originally on Pinterest, and then I blogged about it on my blog. It's way far down there, though. Like, you'd have to find it, but it's there. But I will link the rest. Well, I will write out the recipe in the description box for you guys, so you can follow along with it if you want to try it. Highly recommend it if you're a pasta fan. Oh, it is so, so good. And also, quick side note, I had to throw my hair up while I'm cooking. If you are not a fan of mushrooms, you absolutely don't have to add them into this dish. You can absolutely add anything you want to it or take out what you don't want. It's called pasta con broccoli, but you don't have to use broccoli or mushrooms. You could put peppers or olives. Honestly, you could put whatever you want in this. You could even add meat to it if you really wanted to. But the noodles are almost ready to drain, so I have to do that really quick. Now I left the heat on medium, but I might turn it down just a tad. I already shook up my whipping cream. Right, I don't necessarily have anywhere to set you guys, so give me just a moment. Alright, I added the butter, the minced garlic, salt, and pepper. And now you're just going to want to stir it up. That noise might disturb some of you, and I do apologize. I am not a fan of that noise myself. I'm just trying to like stir it so that butter melts. Typically, it's 4 tablespoons of butter. Typically, I chop it into like tablespoons just so it melts faster, but I just decided to do it the simple way and throw the whole thing in there. So I'm just going to let this sit for a few minutes. Let it not overboil, just like kind of simmer, thicken up the sauce. And then I will add the cheese here in just a bit. Alright, I'm pretty sure the butter is all melted. So I'm going to add a little bit of cheese at a time. It's about half the bag right there. Which, like I said, it calls for about half a bag, maybe even less. I just like it cheesy. It gives it better flavor. I don't know, it really thickens it up. I'm just a cheese lover. I could eat cheese with anything. Sorry, my lighting is not that great. Okay. You know what? I can do this. I'm such a dum-dum sometimes. Now I'm going to add the rest of the cheese. Told you guys, I use an entire bag of cheese. I like cheese. You absolutely can use as little or as much cheese as you want. It's really hard to screw a recipe like this up. When I first decided to make it, I was like, there's no way it's gonna taste good. I don't know if you guys have a pasta house where you live. I don't know if that's a St. Louis or a Missouri thing, but pasta house, I usually either get their pasta con broccoli or their spaghetti. And in my opinion, this tastes just like Pasta House's pasta con broccoli. But again, it's not my recipe, so I can't really take the credit for it. But I will take the credit for teaching it to you guys. Alright, so that's thickening up pretty well, but I'm going to let it sit for a little bit longer. I'm just going to turn the heat down. It's like right in between low and medium. And then in a few minutes after it simmers a tiny, tiny bit longer, I'm going to put some in a bowl for Alden and then mix in the mushrooms and the broccoli. Is it just me, or like, am I the only one that thinks cooked broccoli smells so funky? Like when it's heating up in the microwave, it smells the house up. And like, I love broccoli. I love broccoli with cheese. I like raw broccoli. I like broccoli in general, but it just stinks. Like, why? Alright, that is Alden's. I do just chop up the noodles a little bit for him, and I added mushrooms and the broccoli. It's a little hard to stir all this around with one hand. Sorry, I was trying to see what I was doing. It's hard to like look at my phone to see what I'm doing. I need to actually look at the actual food. There it is. Pasta con broccoli. Super easy, and I give it a 10 out of 10 stars.